Hello, Seiiti Arata. Your thoughts might not be your thoughts. Maybe you've been manipulated to think like the group that you're part of. Let me explain this. The internet is an incredible resource that allows us to connect with all types of different groups. And we can learn a lot from these groups, but that can be a double-edged sword. On the one hand, the endless amount of information on the internet opens up a world of possibilities, letting us to explore new ideas and meet new people who enjoy the same things that we do. It helps to create a sense of belonging. On the other hand, the internet can be a very dangerous place, and if you've ever ventured to a weird corner of the internet, you know what I'm talking about. So the internet connects all sorts of people, and then we need to be aware of how our opinions, our beliefs can be influenced by potential manipulation and all types of biases. Now, I'm sure that you think that you are a very smart person, that you cannot be manipulated. But I ask you to stay humble. This is a very serious matter, especially if you are exploring different groups on Telegram, Signal, Discord, and other forums and apps with very specific topics and ideologies. Although it might be pretty rewarding to find a group of people that you resonate with, sooner or later you will feel uncomfortable and confused. The ideas that once were fascinating and appealing to you might start to feel a little bit wrong and uneasy. If that happens, you might feel betrayed and puzzled, realizing that you may have been manipulated into believing something that doesn't really align with your personal values. It is natural to feel overwhelmed and scared, but the good news is that you can take control of your online presence. By being aware of the potential for manipulation and paying attention to the messages that you consume, you can ensure that you're not swept away by this groupthink. You need to know yourself to remain true to your own values and recognize when you need to set boundaries on your use of different types of online groups. Be aware of the herd behavior. If you don't lead, you are being led. Have you ever stopped to think about the impact of the social groups that you're part of? It might surprise you to learn that if you're not the leader of the group, you're probably being led by someone. That is right. Because when you enter any new social context, you're entering an interaction space where there is a hierarchy, there are some people with more authority, and there is a certain culture in that space. Our natural tendency is to pick up on these social cues and the implicit rules of the environment, and then we adjust our behavior so we can be accepted in that environment. This makes us more vulnerable to manipulation and influence from those who were in that group before, and in a matter of just a few days, you might find yourself using the same jargon, making the same jokes, using the same memes as the other members. It is a way to connect with others. But some people might also argue this is a way to be accepted by the group. One way or the other, the fact is that a group of strangers has, in a certain way, changed your behavior. It is essential to be aware of the dynamics of any group and recognize the influence it can have on you. Group dynamics can be very powerful, and they can shape our behavior in ways we don't always realize. It is not just about the leader, it's about the whole group and the culture that it creates. And we need to be conscious of the subtle ways our social circles are influencing us and how we can use all of that to our advantage. So please be aware of where your ideas come from your own head or from someone else's. Examine your main thoughts on these subjects that you discuss in these closed online groups. Many of your thoughts are not actually your own thoughts, they are the ideas of other people. You're just echoing these ideas in your brain. It is easy to get caught on this groupthink and start to believe the ideas and opinions shared by the group and believe that they are genuinely yours. But it is very important to remember that you are an individual. You have your own ideas, you have your own set of values, and you should use those values to guide your thoughts and your actions. So even if you're part of a group, you still need to maintain your own sense of identity and your personal values. Because if you lose sight of that, you might start to merge your identity with the group and end up feeling lost. And this can happen when a specific person tries to manipulate and control your thoughts, or it can happen naturally when a group of people share the same opinion and they keep repeating over and over the same message. Either way, This can be dangerous. It can have an impact on your mental health. It is very important that you pay attention to which ideas are yours and which are from other people. Otherwise, it might end up feeling like you are not really in control of your own thoughts. And if that happens, people are manipulated into doing things that they don't really want to do. That's why it's so important to take a step back and critically evaluate the ideas that you're receiving and making sure that they reflect your own values, your own beliefs. And to do this, you need to know your personal values. And you can do so by visiting arata.se/your values. It is essential to recognize where your identity comes from and which values you identify with. In that way, you can stay true to yourself and be aware of any external influences that might be trying to change your thought process. For example, if you identify that respect, equality, empathy are among your highest personal values, you will be unlikely to let yourself to be manipulated by a group trying to spread racist or prejudiced or supremacist ideas. So make sure that you maintain your own sense of reality. Always be aware of which ideas are yours and which ideas are from other people. In this way, you can protect your mental health by staying away and having good control of your own thoughts. You can try a test. You can deliberately say something that goes against the ideas, the group's beliefs, and then you can observe how they react. Don't assume that anything that is happening within a closed online group is harmless. On the contrary, it might be that you might be in the middle of a snake pit without even knowing it. To get a sense of where you are, you can try an experiment. Next time someone brings up a topic that you don't disagree with in the group, try to voice your opinion. Observe the reaction. Don't be quiet. If the group is curious to understand more about your own point of view, that will be a positive sign because you're surrounded with people who are open to hearing different perspectives. They're engaging in real conversations, in meaningful conversations. They want to know who you are, what are your ideas. And if you do bring up an incorrect perspective on some technical concept, in other words, if you're objectively wrong, it will be a good sign if people correct you, they educate you, they will explain how you are wrong in that particular field in a friendly and respectful manner. However, if the group starts to mock you, to insult you, or even exclude you, well, that will be a red flag. It means that the group has little tolerance for independent thinking, and it might be time to rethink the ideas that you formed while you were in the group. You've likely been manipulated into adopting certain thoughts, beliefs, and ideologies that aren't truly yours and don't really align with your personal values that you spent your time with this group of people. It is not easy to recognize when it's time to question your own beliefs and maybe even leave the group. But always bear in mind that it is important to stay alert and aware of the environments that we're in, whether these are physical or digital spaces. So make sure to pay attention and remember, if you are in a setting that does not tolerate independent thinking, it's time to reassess your ideas and your involvement in that group. After all, it's only by critically evaluating our own thoughts that we can truly reach our full potential and maintain continuous growth. We're all exposed to the ideas or the groups that we belong to, but it is very important to remember that we have the power to stay true to ourselves and prevent manipulation. Every day is an opportunity for you to be conscious of your values and make decisions that reflect who you are and what you believe in. So don't let the noise of the world outside to silence you. Stay true to yourself, and then if you get confused, remember to follow your personal values. And to do this, you can visit right now arata.se/your values.